Tapi menyewajib kan? Ada masalah kan?
You, gimana aja tahu nang gerawat.
Hai semua, kembali bersama saya. Di sini sudah ada Aminah yang akan bercerita sedikit tentang perjalanannya bersama keluarganya yang dulu keluar dari Aceh pada saat masa konflik di tahun 1991. Jadi long time ago. So we can start now. Hi Aminah, hello.
Hi Lisa, how are you?
I'm fine, really good. Actually, we have talked before, but we can continue by recording the video for sharing for everyone. Maybe before we started, you can introduce yourself. You want to know by people as what?
My name is Aminah. I came here with my family. We left Aceh in 1991.
Oh, okay.
So it was an earlier conflict.
Oh, okay. So 1991, what happened at that 1991?
I don't know for sure what happened, but my dad was involved in, don't know if he's really involved, but they thought he was involved with GAM. If he would have stayed in Aceh, he would have been killed, tortured, taken away. So he took his family, whoever he could, and at the time it was my mom and me. So he took us and we flee to Malaysia. Like he was running around for about 2 years, and he just pretty much stay in Hutan, and then sometimes to like send news to my mom or something, or my mom would find a way to get him things, whatever he needed, whether it's food or clothing item, whatever he need to survive in the woods. So we left with the boat. That's from what I hear. It was like a small boat. Don't know how many people, maybe like between 30 people in a boat. We were almost stranded in the ocean. We were there for like 3-4 days without food and water. We were barely moving, and I was the only baby at the time. I was born in '88, and that was 1991. So I was like 3 years old.
Okay.
I don't remember a lot, but I have like images from the time. Like I don't know the story, but I remember certain image, if that makes sense.
Because you are still kid there at that time.
Yeah. So my mom was like, "You were hungry, you were crying," and they were trying to get attention from other boats. It was like the Taiwanese boat or something, I don't know, but they were asking for water, and instead of water they gave us fuel or something. I don't know if they gave us fuel or thing, but it wasn't what they were asking for. So people were still like hungry and miserable. It was tight space, like there's no space to even stretch your legs. And then after the struggle, finally arrived in Malaysia, and then somebody reported us to the police officers. They were thinking, oh, the faster we report ourselves, the better it would be. Like they'd send us help, blah blah blah. There's people in the government already, and they're gonna send us help. We're gonna get ammunition or immunity, whatever. But they were wrong. They put us in jail.
Okay.
In concentration camp. there were so many other people. We were in Kedah first, and then they sent us to Perak, keeping apart men and women. So like the kids would stay with the mom, and then the men are all together separate. They didn't like it, like the ones with family, they didn't like the separation, so they threw a protest and created, like they were fighting. They wanted to be together with family. So after the protest, we were able to live together in the concentration camp. From what I hear from my dad, it was terrible in the jail. They weren't getting enough food and stuff. They were treated badly. But women were better treated compared to men. Mm-hmm. Maybe because of the kids too. So they wanted to, I don't know, lessen the burden. So we were together after that. I don't know for sure how long we were separated for, but then the total time we were in the concentration camp was like 4 years. I think we got out in 1994 or 95.
In the concentration, in the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So jail and camp is different.
I wouldn't really call it jail because I don't know. For me, the jail is like the one with the bars. Macam ada apa ni, pagar besi macam tu. So because this is like a house, it looks like a house, like a rumah panjang, tak ada separation. We make the separation ourselves, like to divide between the families. Bila dia bagi nasi tu kan dalam bungkus surat khabar macam tu. So bila dapat nasi itu kita simpan bungkusan dia. We kept it and we used whatever we can to make the glue. Like we could order stuff from visitors. So they were ordering Indomie, they were ordering spice, bread, whatever food items they wanted, tepung, gula, things like that. They were making the walls using the rice paper. And the rice from wrapping, the paper from rice wrapping. I don't even know how to speak anymore.
However, is it for 4 years, you said?
Yeah, that was for 4 years.
Let's say that is the camp.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't go outside freely, right?
No, you can't go outside.
That is in Perak.
Yeah, in Perak and Kedah, I think. I don't know how long. I think 2 years in Perak, 2 years in Kedah.
And you grew there. You have been maybe 5 years old then.
We were given more freedom, I guess you could say, because we were able to garden in the camp. We were growing our own crops, jagong, bete, klede. So we grew all that. And then other people like Burma, they were hungry. They were ready to have anything. They even asked for daun klede, like the yellow leaves. They would eat those because they were very hungry. But we were fine. We had a lot of food.
But your memory also is awesome. You can remember everything, or your parents also taught that?
I could remember some of it, some of the stuff that happened in the concentration camp. But I also know things that were told from my parents whenever they see their friends or they're talking about it. So I hear it, so it kind of reinforces my memory.
I don't know, like a traumatic, you felt that, or just
Yes.
a little?
A little. Maybe because I was so young at the time, I don't know the hardship that my parents were going through. I'm sure it was tough for them, because they weren't able to raise their kids normally like other parents would. They weren't able to provide for their family. We couldn't work and stuff. They want their kids to be in school, but here we are in the concentration camp. So it must have been hard for them emotional wise. But for me as a kid, I don't remember. I don't remember how I felt. But as I grew older, getting into me, like other kids could go to school, but I can't. And then after we got out of that concentration camp, they were trying to find a job and stuff. Luckily, there's a hotel that they could stay in, and not legally working, but kind of working under the table, if you know what I mean. They were trying to enroll me in like elementary school, and I was able to go for a month or two. And then I got a letter from the teacher. It was like, oh, this is for your parents. Give it to your parents. And then I gave it to my mom. And then I was like, what does it say? Can I go to school the next day? And she was like, no, you shouldn't go to school the next day.
Why? What's the letter?
I don't know what it was exactly, but they don't want me in school anymore because probably the documentation. We don't have proper document. No birth certificate and stuff. No. So it was tough. I couldn't go to school anymore, and I was pretty much staying home by myself while my parents work, and then I follow them around because they work at the hotel, so I follow them around. I help my mom clean the bed and stuff. I mean, make the bed, clean the floor, whatever I could help her with.
So
And
how can your family got that hotel? From Malaysia government?
I think from connections with people from Acehnese that are already in Malaysia.
With the legal knowledge, maybe?
Not sure.
Oh.
Don't remember how long we stayed there for. My sister was born. So then I babysat her. I babysat my sister. Sometimes I wanted to go to my friend's house because I thought it was not too far away. Then I would go to the beach trying to go to my friend's house, but then when we get there, they were in school, and I was like, oh darn it, what do I do? I'm like I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time, so I don't know if kids aren't gonna be at home.
You were still unenrolled?
No, I wasn't enrolled anymore. I remember walking home. It was a hot, scorching day, and I was carrying my sister. Sometimes I don't know, like if I wanted to say something in my mom is asking panjang. So
Halo, Assalamualaikum.
Salam, Bu. Kamu dari Sigli, Bu?
Oh, Sigli.
Ya. Ibu
Di Aceh Utara. Lok Semangui.
Lok Semangui kampung apa, Bu?
Di Pulau Belarah.
Pulau Blangara. Ana wawole?
Dua ribu kurang lang orangnya. Yang setrep kana wawole.
Tapi keluarga mendang yang di Aceh Utara?
Manteng, adik abang manteng. Mak ngayah anak-anak li.
Meninggal dia konflik segala konflik emang kamu meninggal?
Ayah dia konflik, mak masanya.
Masanya
Hana wali.
Aminah tahun yang kali kau kan nawo ibu Hana.
Aminah Hana.
Oh, tapi menyewa je kan? Ada masalah kan?
You, gimana je tahu nanggro tu.
Sehat kan? Anak sakit.
Panik nasihat, sakit.
Sakit.
Ilung dengan ayah sama sakit, kayaknya sakit jantung. Ilung kini.
Oh, berarti hemodialisa no?
Yang sakit tu lam.
Oh, man kini nak ubat?
Hana kali pindah saboh.
Oh, gantongan atau na transplant?
Hana ganto pi.
Tinggal saboh berarti no?
Ya saboh.
Manjit berat-berat le ya, manjit berat-berat le mungkin.
Ya. Mu tajak hai le hana kini tili.
Uap apa kan, bu? Makanan pu emang teh masanya kiban tu.
Oh, mungkin makanan. Makanan awal-awal makan tak aja mesti mbak tak pelung-pelung laut kan.
Ante trepci buat teh masa laut na baru
Ya. Laut ni long siton lebih sang laut. Alinya ni Malaysia 11 ton.
Nya lebih tong kan aman-aman mentang kondisi ilegal
Ya. Hana ibi suratnya ibi permit saja.
Permit bukan menetap kan izin
Kan. Ya mana. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Moving to US at about 2000? No.
2003.
2003. Okay.
After
14 years in Malaysia.
Was it 12 or 13?
Because your mom told about 14 years is about 13. Right?
I see. Let me see. I was put in 10th grade when I came to US high school. 15, I think I was 15 and I was put in 10th grade.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, but I struggled so much because I didn't go to school in Malaysia, and so I had to learn the very basic. When I get here, I only know like a few words. So I was failing at math and science classes. I did pretty well in ESL, like English as a second language. Geography, I remember I had some help, like the teacher were being very generous with me, like they would give me like easy work to do. And then even with the exam, they were letting me do whatever I could understand. So if something that I don't understand in English, they would excuse me for that, as long as I do well on like the map quizzes and things like that.
But maybe you like quick learner, so you can catch up everything then.
Yeah, I was a pretty quick learner, especially with English. I liked how the program was really cool. They had the reading class, writing class, and then I think one more was like English composition or something. I don't remember what it was, but there were like 3 English courses at the high school, and it was a good program because when I moved, I was about 9 months in Utah, and then in 2004 we moved to Pennsylvania. And then when I got here, the high school wasn't structured like it was in Utah, so it was difficult for me. I only have like 1 ESL class. Other courses were so hard. I couldn't understand stuff. ESL class that we have, it's just like reading, writing, everything combined in one class. And then the teacher would do our assignments all as a group. Like say if you have an essay due, the teacher would write it on the board and we could copy it on our papers and then we turn it in. So that's how we get our grades. So I didn't like that because I'm not learning things from that. Like to speak, I had to learn on my own. So I kind of did my own thing. I like after class, I would still read and read, and I read a lot in high school. just to learn the language more.
I guess you have to speak in English there. That's why maybe.
Yeah.
But
and then
why you moved from Utah to Pennsylvania?
Because of the job, my parents weren't able to find jobs that pays better. There was a few Achenese people there. There's like 2 or 3 families in Utah, and then in Pennsylvania there's a lot more Achenese families. There was a lot more jobs. Just overall easier to find job if they were to get laid off from something. They'd be able to find something else. So that kind of thing. In Utah, it's just us, and we don't have anything to do. They were mostly working at a hotel or at a retail store. And then when we moved to Pennsylvania, they were working at a warehouse.
You said that many Achenese families in Pennsylvania. How many families, you know?
Quite a lot. About 20 families, maybe more.
What kind of job they work?
Most work in the warehouse. Some works as a driver. Some have like a good career, like working for, I don't know for sure what they do, but some of them are very accomplished because they've been here longer and they were born here. For people that just got here, most of the jobs they could find is like a warehouse jobs.
So then you have been there for a long time. I mean, like the legal is also like you have a letter for document for all the families, for the Achenese families there. You get like kind of letter, or what we say, like visas or what?
Because we came here as refugees, like penduduk tetap or something, so we got a green card at first. But everybody that come here were able to get like a social security card that's like you can't lose it anywhere.
Your family had everyone had green card?
Yes. Green card is something that says you could live here and work here. I think after 5 years of holding the green card, then you can apply to be a U.S. citizen.
So now everyone in your has U.S. citizen, like.
Yeah. We were naturalized and then I don't remember when my parents got their naturalization card, but it was a struggle for them. because they don't speak English, so it was harder for them to memorize like things that they could ask. Because you have to take a test. You have to know like the U.S. history and things like that.
There's a requirement for getting the identity card.
Yeah.
I think it's not easy to live as quote unquote as a foreigner, but you are there. I mean, like you grew in US. You like US, not like foreigner now. But I think it's not easy, right?
In the beginning, it was not easy at all. Because when we come to the U.S., the parents and children switch. My mom and dad does everything for us, like going to places, going to grocery stores, going to work, all on their own without any translation. But then when they come to U.S., they require translation because of they speak English here. So we got no choice but to learn English. And translation is a hard job. You have to understand what you're translating. And so in a way, you kind of make decisions also on things, for example, mortgage, going to the doctors. Like if there's, for example, with my dad, that he has coronary artery disease, so it's like whenever he have to get a procedure done, whether it's a bypass surgery or inserting a stent or putting a defibrillator, you have to make that decision for him. And when you first learn English, it's not easy to translate it to Achenese because you may not know the whole words in Achenese. Like if they were saying, we're gonna do a heart cath, how would I translate that into Achenese? So I have to like.
And you are still kid?
Not anymore.
Oh yeah,
I'm an adult
younger.
then. Yeah, but I was like 16 or
also
18.
Has less capacity in translating.
Yeah. I mean, I speak Achenese, but sometimes it's hard for me to translate when I don't know bigger words. Like there's a lot of difficult words in English in medical terms or science. Then I'd have to make my own decision whether to get this procedure or not get this procedure. And then if we were applying for government help, like with the welfare to get food stamps or Medicaid, then I'd have to try my best with whatever I could understand and just put whatever information I know. So it's like a reversed role. You become the parents instead of your parents doing stuff for them. You do stuff for your parents.
Yeah, because in Malaysia, Malay actually like really same with Indonesian language. Even it's quite different, but your parents still understood the language. But US is totally blank because it's English.
Exactly.
Got the point.
Yeah, I think they were picking up words whenever they go to work, like because there's other people that don't speak English also, so they kind of have to communicate with other people. And when you're at work, you're kind of forced to learn English as well, because otherwise, how do you communicate with your coworkers? You know, like if you need something, you'd have to say it. So I think they kind of picked up some English from working.
But just word by word, not really good English.
Yeah. They do have an option to learn it properly. Like they offer class for people who wants to learn English, for the elderly or people that don't go to college. They offer programs at a church or international organization that offer that classes. But when you're providing for your family, you don't really have that time. 8 to 5 job or a 7 to 3 job. You work in a warehouse. When you get home, you're just tired and you want to make food for your family. So you don't really have time to go to those classes. And so yeah, my parents don't really, they tried attending a few classes, but it wasn't, they couldn't memorize, they couldn't remember things that they learn because they're working, so they don't have time to study at home. That's what happened.
How about the living? I mean, the living cost for covering your family there by you, or even like you came there for as a refugee. There is an institution that cover the cost for your family, or just like
say like a church organization. They were handling refugee resettlement program. So they have like a caseworker assigned to each family to take them to places. They were helping us with finding apartments. They were helping us with finding a job or enroll in school. So they have like a caseworker to go to places with us.
What's the name of institution?
It's some kind of refugee resettlement programs. So in Pennsylvania, I think they're called, let me see what they're called. I actually don't know in Pennsylvania, but in Utah it was like a church charity or something.
Charity. Until now.
No. You were only, I think dia macam tolong masa waktu baru-baru kat US je. Masa baru-baru tu dia ada orang tolong, but maybe once you get things going, that's when they stop working with you.
Karena udah kerja, karena kamu.
Ya, karena kerja, jai kula, jadi hana pelele. Jadi waktu baru-barunya memang ditolong.
Mungkin refugi lain pun yang dari negara lain pun akan sama.
Yeah.
Next for your life there, you know that beberapa waktu ini kan ada istilah Black Lives Matter ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have experience about that?
As a minority, I do experience it in some way, but it's nothing compared to what Black people are experiencing. I can't even imagine what they experience here because it's totally hard on them. But it doesn't really affect me because there would be protests downtown, like 2 minutes from my workplace or something. Then if I know that there's gonna be a protest that day, then maybe avoid using that route and just use a different route to go to work. And then like because of COVID also, I didn't have to go anywhere. I was able to work from home for about 3 months. So yeah.
So
I don't really
as minority maybe
on that.
Really black life you because you are not really black or whatever, you are not African or but as the minority, what you feel to live in Pennsylvania?
I don't feel anything.
Like everything.
I feel everything's going well for me. Kekurangan di sesuatu area.
Like identity crisis?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't know.
But maybe it's inside you. Kan karena orang lain.
Yeah, kan karena orang lain. Memang apa nih? How you feel? Like you have that. You just feel a certain way about yourself. You have a certain standard, and you hold that standard. So you kind of belittling yourself. So that kind of stuff. But nothing.
Maybe.
What's that?
Like you feel not belong to US or something like that.
Not really. I don't feel like I don't belong here. It's just I think lacking self-confidence is the main thing. Trying to gain self-confidence.
But I think you can because for your history, I mean, like you went to the school same like others in US, yeah. You attended college also same like other. You can, I think. Even you started with different way, but and then you got the process same like others in US in Pennsylvania.
Not sure how to address that actually. I got a degree and stuff, but I just feel like I'm not very accomplished career-wise because I got my degree in marketing, but here I am working as a social worker. So I feel like I'm not accomplished in that aspect. I could be making more money than I should, but I'm not.
Yeah. As marketer, actually, at least you have to work as marketer, maybe for earning more money.
I don't know if I like marketing or not. I think I should get some more experience in it to be able to speak on that. But yeah, it's been a tough life. But I guess it's better than living in Aceh.
Yeah.
I think my life would have been way different if I was in Aceh. Kebanyakan family members are in Nisam. Like my sister, I have 2 sisters there. Tinggal di Bandar Slamet or don't remember, but it's in Nisam. And so when I go to Aceh, it's just completely different. Some houses are just not completely finished. Like the house is fine and then there's no floor, or bathroom don't have walls. So I struggle with that. When I went with my dad the first time, he was gonna go to our Lampo, where they were living before they moved to Malaysia. He was gonna take me along. I was gonna come. I really wanted to come and see where I was born and stuff. But my brother-in-law would not let me go. He thought, "Oi, inang jak lautan, habis hikap ijama." Macam tu, harga bijak.
So, libur hana jadi aja?
Sebenarnya libur hana jadi aja sebab getam beratan. Patut je longjak aju. Because I don't care about going in the hutan because I like going to hutan. Like even in the US I go walking or hiking in a trail, so it's like it's in the woods. Yeah, but I could handle that.
Yeah, because they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. They have different expectations of you. They think you're from the US and you're not used to this kind of living. You're not used to blah blah blah. But really, I don't care about all that stuff. Just treat me like the way you treat other people in Aceh. I don't want that different treatment.
Yeah.
Tapi rasa hana diterimanya cuman di Aceh dan di Malaya. Waktu di Amerika hana tak terasa menan.
Mungkin ya.
Kiban?
Mungkin karena Amerika diversity ji lebih raya.
Diversity ji lebih raya, kemudian tanya sebagai pendatang karena dumpu yang tak perlu untuk jalankan hidup. Jadi karena dokumentasi mandum masa berakan di Malaysia kan hana dokumentasi sapu. Jadi tak kerja apa, raja kulah apa. Jadi ban katruk kena karena social security, karena US citizen, karena green card even if you don't have a citizen. Jadi segala urusan kan mudah, walaupun untuk tempat-tempat kadang orang dianggap tanya lain, tapi hana janggal dalam diri draw masa. Berbanding di Malaysia menyetajak berangkaho tanya Hana Saban dengan awak lain masa jadi terasa lain kedra tu. Hana kemudahan yang dirasai orang lain, jadi it's difficult in that aspect. Lepas tu masa di Aceh lagak tanya kalain masa bahasa Aceh tanya Hana tak lagi fluent lagi orang Aceh lain, jadi mungkin dituri, jadi orang lebih galak pegah tanyakan orang Aceh or something, I don't know. And then mungkin bagi orang yang hideh mungkin rasa dia tumpang berbangga lah sebab kita from US. Yeah, so I think they like to tell people that, hey, this is my cousin, she lives in the US. Things like that. So I think dia tumpang bangga jugalah.
Yeah. Paham.
But the hardest part about living abroad for me is not being able to experience our own culture. For example, bila hari raya, the hari raya, Hana tu mangat le.
Hana Semoga ino.
Masa waktu di Malaysia je, walaupun Hana family member in Malaysia, tapi as a kid you make friends with other kids in the neighborhood, so you just kind of go along with everybody. So if they were going to house to house, if they were going to raya house to house in the neighborhood, you just kind of tag along with people, whether you know this family or not. You just blend in. So as a kid, you would you didn't feel anything about that. It was fun. You go to people's house, you get duit raya. But then when you move to the US, the experience is completely different because there's only like a few family here, and then they've been here for a period of time and they don't celebrate it the way they used to in their country, so they kind of have to make use of whatever they have here, adjust to the environment that they are here. So the experience is completely different. Like you go to the masjid and then you meet with people. They kind of tentukan rumah siapa first, and then they do like a rumah terbuka, so it's not like you go from house to house like in Malaysia. So I'm just not used to that. And then also they don't do duit raya anymore. So I was missing duit raya when I first got here. Maybe little kids would get duit raya, but I don't know. A lot of people don't do it anymore. And then the past 2 years, I was able to go back to Aceh and I experienced Raya in Aceh. And I noticed that they celebrate Raya differently there because they would Sembahyang Raya at the mosque first, and then they visited their teachers or maybe like important people in their lives, but it was different for me. And then with my sisters, I think they were visiting graveyards on Hari Raya, so that's like a new experience. That's not what I expected on Raya, so I don't know what you do on Raya anymore. Someday we don't even go anywhere. Sometimes you don't have family members visiting. Some years you do. Some years we just either we go to them or they come to us. Because I have a brother that lives in Virginia. They have a lot more Indonesian community there. Other people like Malaysian, Indonesian, they all are closer in Virginia. Maybe because the ambassador is there, so they have like
celebrated in ambassador office.
Ya, macam Malaysian, dia orang berkumpul dekat ambassador dia, Indonesian berkumpul dekat gedung dia. So it's like there's a lot of events in Virginia. So sometimes I would go there just to experience it with other Indonesians. But nowadays, we mostly just stay home and just wait whoever comes home comes. And then we visited people around us too, like other Acehnese.
How about the neighbor, non-Acehni neighbor around also came to your home?
No, not really. And that unless you're like close friends with them, I don't really have my American friends come to our house during Raya. So they kind of just know, like I tell them, this is like a Muslim holiday, so it's like I'm doing this today. So if they were inviting me to go picnic or something, or to go hiking, then I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't attend. I can't be doing that on this day because we're celebrating Raya or Eid. So things like that. I don't really bring my friends over.
Okay. So it's easy for you to introduce to everyone that you are Muslim there? With your friends, you said that you are Muslim.
Yeah, somewhat. That's actually a difficult subject too for me because I mean, I am Muslim, but I don't wear tudung. So a lot of times people don't know that I'm a Muslim. Some people just choose to wear the hijab and it's easy to identify. But for me personally, I felt different when I wear hijab. In high school, I was wearing hijab, so I felt differently. I feel constricted. It was difficult for me. I was still learning English too, and I didn't know how to interact with people. I think the way I grew up has shaped the way I interact with other people as well. So it takes some getting used to.
I want to know about that feeling, that what you experience about Islam, about being Muslim. Even maybe you not really directly experience that, but your mother maybe.
The most I could remember is whenever we go to for documentation purposes, like if we get our picture ID taken, they would want you to at least show the hairline and the ear. So my mom would have to like take off part of her tudung, so that's a struggle for her.
Now is like 9:30, 10 p.m. in US, so it's quite burden you. Because I asked you to talk to me to do Zoom at the night. But you are so kind. You want to share and you want to spend time with me. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure sharing with you. I'm thankful that you're actually interested in my story and hearing what I have to say. And the story of my journey. So I'm thankful that you wanted to do this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I